question from the audience.
Hello.
Hello.
As Alicia mentioned, my name is Talia Angueto and I'm a junior here at Drake University, and my question is for you, and it is the following. White privilege is a term that more people are talking openly about these days. Certainly people like me have long understood what it means. Secretary Clinton, can you tell us what the term white privilege means to you? And can you give me an example from your life or career when you think you have benefited from it?
Well, I mean, where do I start? I think it is hard when you're swimming in the ocean to know exactly what's happening around you so much as it is when you're standing on the shore, perhaps watching. For me, you know, look, I was born white, middle class, in the middle of America. I went to good public schools. I had a very strong, supportive family. I had a lot of great experiences growing up. I went to a wonderful college. I went to law school. I never really knew what was or wasn't part of the privilege. I just knew that I was a lucky person, and that being lucky was in part related to who I am, where I'm from, and the opportunities I had. But I'll tell you, when I first realized that I was privileged, both because I was white and because I was economically stable, I had two experiences. The first, and they both came through my church. The first, when I was about 11 years old, our church asked if some of us would volunteer to babysit for the children of migrant workers on Saturdays, because the families had to go into the fields and the older kids had to go with them. And there was nobody left to watch the little kids. And I and a couple of my friends volunteered, and I remember, you know, in those days, Chicago was surrounded by fields. Doesn't look like it anymore, but it was. And it was on the migrant journey from Mexico up through Texas, up through the Midwest, ended up in Michigan. But at a certain point in the summer harvest, folks were in the Chicago area. So I remember going out there, taking care of these adorable little kids. And I kind of thought, well, you know, they're very different from me. I mean, they've got different experiences, but they were just little kids. And then at the end of the day, at the end of this long road, because there are all these sort of housing units, at the end of this long road, the bus stopped, and the parents and the older brothers and sisters got out. And when the little kids saw them, they just dropped everything and began running for their mothers and their fathers, holding their arms out. And I remember it like it was yesterday, watching that, and I was thinking, I used to do that with my father. And I'm watching these kids and their families, they have to work so hard. And the place they live is not very nice. And I just felt, you know, I have a different kind of life. I didn't call it a particular name, but it was a different life, and I knew that.
Secretary Clinton, we have a few more questions.